Hey guys! Do you love soft pastel colors and elegant rosette succulents? If so, you'll love getting to know this beautiful Echeveria Perle von Nurnberg. In today's video, I will show you creative ways to use this plant for DIY projects. I will also share with you how to keep it healthy, happy, and multiply like crazy. And the best part about this video is that the technique I will show you isn't just for this one plant. Nope, you can use it on all your rosette-forming succulents as long as they've got those thick, chunky leaves. This trick will be helpful if you have Echeverias, Echeverias, or similar succulents growing in your garden. It's a simple method that works across the board and will help you care for and multiply these types of plants even faster. Echeveria Perle von Nurnberg is a popular and eye-catching succulent. It has beautiful rosette-shaped leaves that almost look like flowers. The leaves are a mix of soft purple, pink, and silvery tones, which can change depending on the amount of sun they get. And guess what? There's even a variegated version called Echeveria Rainbow. It's Perle von Nurnberg with a splash of extra color and variegation. The leaves of this Echeveria are thick and fleshy, with a soft powdery coating that gives them a frosted look. That powder is called farina, and it helps protect the plant from too much sun and moisture loss. Echeveria also blooms in the spring, but unlike many other succulents, it is not monocarpic. This means it can flower multiple times without dying after blooming. Even after repeated flowering, Echeveria stays compact and thrives, keeping its health and vigor. This is super easy to care for, which makes it perfect for beginners. It loves bright light, doesn't need much water, and can handle some neglect. Echeveria PVN loves the sun. Under full sun, its pink and purple tones come to life and become even more vibrant. And even if it's growing in partial shade, it still holds on to its beauty but shows off lighter purple and grayish colors. Unfortunately, if it is placed in the shade too long, its leaves will turn dull and the plant can also stretch out to search for more light. This plant stores water in its leaves, so it doesn't need to be watered often. But if it absorbs too much water, the leaves can swell, split, or even rot, eventually killing the plant. So give this plant the right amount of light and water. It will thank you by showing off vibrant, eye-catching colors on its leaves. Did you know that you can propagate this Echeveria in 3 different ways, all at once? It's true, I will teach you how. First, you can propagate using the cuttings. You can cut off the top rosette with a knife, blade, or scissors. One challenge you might encounter when doing this is when the rosette is so compact, which it often is. It can be challenging to trim without damaging the leaves. A thin blade would work better, but whatever you do, just be gentle and take your time. You can also follow this video that went viral online. In it, the rosette is cut using a string. I have not done this yet, but let me know if it works for you. For the success of your cutting propagation, air dry the rosette for 2 to 3 days until the cut ends callouse over. You can place it on top of the paper towel, or if you live in dry locations, you can put it directly in the soil, provided the soil is dry. Here's mine after 1 month. It's not even planted in the soil. The healthy roots are already present. Do you find this video helpful? If you do, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. When you trim, ensure a few leaves remain attached to the rooted plant. This is essential because it will help the plant continue to photosynthesize and stay healthy, which will help the mother plant produce new baby rosettes. That's the second way of propagating, to grow more sprouts from the trimmed mother plant. The third way is by propagating the leaves. You'll notice after you trim that the stem is often too short for planting. So you remove some of the bottom leaves and you can use those leaves to grow more babies. Propagating succulents from leaves is the slowest method, but also one of the most rewarding. It takes patience because it can be a while before you see any results. But when those tiny new plants finally appear, the feeling is fantastic. There's something special about knowing you grew those little succulents from just a single leaf. It's a simple process, but watching new life sprout makes it worth the wait. When propagating succulents from leaves, you must ensure the tip of the leaf is intact because that's where the babies will sprout. When you remove the leaves from the stem, you move it from side to side until it snaps from the stem. Let the cut ends dry and callose for 2 to 3 days or longer if needed. You'll notice the end turning pink and looking slightly swollen, almost like it's pregnant and ready to pop. That's a clear sign that a new baby plant is coming. Once you see this, place the leaf on top of some soil and keep it in a spot with bright indirect sunlight. Keep the soil moist and then be patient. The new succulent will grow soon. For best results, find the right time to propagate. Do it when the plant is actively growing, preferably at the end of winter or early spring when the weather is mild. What can you do with the new plants? Oh, you get to enjoy creating projects for free. Mix and match it with other succulent cuttings in your garden and create a DIY project like this. I used a wooden box, added my homemade succulent mix, placed a pretty vase, and of course, added these tiny succulents I found sprouting in the garden using my favorite gardening tweezers. If you haven't got one like this, you should try it. It is a very useful tool for succulent gardening. It is great in creating miniature projects, grooming your plants, planting your cuttings, and many other uses in your gardening. It's available in Amazon. The link is in the description below. Now that you've come this far, I am sure you're interested in learning further. So, let me give you more helpful tips to be successful in your succulent gardening. As I mentioned earlier, this Echeveria is sun-loving. But don't rush it straight into full sun, especially when it was just newly planted. Don't try relocating it in the middle of summer either. The intense sun can burn the leaves and the damage can be irreversible. Instead, start the transition when they are well rooted. Time it when the weather is gentler and not too harsh. The mild temperatures during spring will help your plant adjust more comfortably. But if it's already summer or you missed that spring window, no worries. You can still do it. Just ease the plant into direct sunlight little by little. Begin with a couple of hours in the morning sun, then slowly increase the exposure over a couple of weeks. This way, your succulent can toughen up and handle the bright summer light without getting stressed or scorched. So how do you know if your Echeveria PVN or any succulent is getting too much sun too quickly? Here are some easy signs to watch out for. You'll notice some brown or white patches on the leaves, and this is a classic sign of sunburn. Or dry crispy leaves or spots that look bleached or faded. If you notice any of these, move your plant back into a shadier spot and give it time to recover. The damaged leaves won't heal, but the plant will focus on growing new healthy leaves again. Now, when it comes to watering, generally the best advice for watering succulents is to water only when the soil is dry. But it is also essential to look at the leaves of your plants. If they are bloated, give them another week because it is better to give less water than too much. But when it is time to water, the key is to water them deeply, but of course not often. When you do water, give them a good soak. Let that water run through the soil and out the drainage holes. Then, just leave them alone for a while. There you have it. I hope you learned much today and are motivated to propagate your succulents. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. Take care, everyone.